month, and it's so great to see that people are still going, because that's what the movement's all about, just kind of carrying on in the cold and the holidays and whatever comes in the way. So lots been going on, it feels like, in the last month, with drones and bills and various different things going on, and so it's just more incentive to be out here and to be discussing things with people and to be showing support for the Occupy movement. A lot of the encampments have been cleared out now since I was here last, so hopefully we'll keep this going by this kind of thing. Just media coverage of the people who are still involved and still active, and hopefully we'll be doing something on the anniversary of Citizens United, so 21st of January. So yeah, keep in date with that, because we on the Occupy Friday Harbor website will have information about that as it comes up. So thanks.
Hi. A minimum of 75,000 veterans were homeless last night. We thought there was 2 million Americans in prison. There's now 2.7 million people behind bars in the United States. There are 200,000 veterans from the Gulf War, the Iraq War, and the Afghanistan War that are now behind bars. 200,000 veterans in our prisons. Thank you.
And I bet you know exactly what I'm going to talk about today, don't you? This morning, the Senate passed a bill by a vote of 86 to 13, including votes by both senators from the state of Washington in the affirmative, that effectively authorizes the President of the United States, on his say-so alone, to order persons that he deems fit into certain groups be arrested and detained indefinitely with no due process whatsoever. A 1-minute dissertation on existing criminal law. If the authorities come to your house and arrest you, for most of the history of the United States, you have quite a few rights. The first thing is that they have to tell you what you've been arrested for. The second thing is, after they take you to the jail in a reasonable amount of time, typically 24 hours, they have to appear with you before a magistrate and show to the satisfaction of that judge that they have evidence that you are most likely guilty of a crime. Even then, if the judge agrees, he has to grant you reasonable bail based on the magnitude of your crime, so that you can be out supposedly gathering your defense in advance of your trial. Under this new law, all of that goes completely away. On the say-so of one man with no review, the President of the United States, either the current one or a future one, can decide that you are, by his definition, either a member of a certain terrorist group or a supporter of that group or a supporter of associated groups, whatever that means. One man, no review, you can be held indefinitely, incommunicado, no judicial review, no trial, as long as he wants. Now, if you look at the law, you might think, oh, this is for terrorists. You know, this doesn't apply to me. But the law is sufficiently vague that whatever the president's determination is holds, and there is no review. Congress doesn't get to say, oh no, that's not right. A court doesn't get to go, oh no, you can't hold that guy. His group is not associated with Al-Qaeda. It's only the President of the United States. Even if you don't think that you are in any way associated with any group that could be remotely construed as a terrorist supporting organization, it's really up to the interpretation of whoever's president at the time. All you have to do is watch Fox News or talk radio to see people trying to associate groups like Occupy Wall Street with radical Muslims, and you realize that anybody can, through innuendo, associate just about any group that you're in with what they construe as a terrorist.
I hate to say it, but I
If you're a member of a militia and we have President Hillary Clinton, she could say your group may be associated with groups that support Al-Qaeda, and you can be indefinitely
handled it pretty well.
detained.
I mean,
This is just unconscionable.
he had to lose.
It's the kind of
He
thing
needed to
that
lose, and he didn't lose.
you typically describe as a slippery slope. Future presidents can interpret this however they deem necessary. They could even seek to have Congress expand it to include other groups, whether it's the NRA or the Occupy Friday Harbor. It is unconscionable that our president, if he signs this today, and I expect he will, that he does so. I also would note that in addition to our two senators voting for this, our local congressman, Rick Larsen, also
But I kind of like
shame on you. Thanks very much.
It's also worth noting that today, after a year and a half in solitary confinement for the most time, Bradley Manning, not charged with any crime, finally has a hearing in front of a military court.
After a year and a half, that's a speedy trial? Is that what you'd call it?
Okay, thank you.
I'm here because I believe Congress has come to a standstill and they refuse to function and work for the American people. They refuse to make decisions that are in the best interests of the American people. They are making decisions that are in the best interests of the special interests and the corporations and the lobbyists. And the lobbyists should be banned. We should not have any lobbyists influencing Congress. And we need to throw out anybody that will not work with other members of Congress. We need to throw out elected representatives and senators who will not work with their own party or with the opposing party. We need to have people working together in Congress, and we need to have them making decisions in the best interests of the American people. And I will stand here until that happens. Thank you.
Once again, I'd like to say we need to overturn Citizens United. Thank you, Bernie Sanders, for putting out that amendment to amend the Constitution. Besides that, it sounds like the Democrats are going to cave again as far as the budget goes, so they're going to go ahead and give in to some concessions so they can get the payroll tax cut extended, which, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't help any of us. I know we all like that little bit of money in our pocket, but it's just taking it out of Social Security. And if we're going to not have the rich people pay their fair share and keep giving them concessions so we can have this little tax relief, forget it. We don't want it. We want our Social Security. We don't want a payroll tax cut. Stop caving in. That's all.
I think that we have kind of betrayed the origins of our country and the notion of equality, and it's the mission statement of our country, and we've done a pretty good job here and there, but not where money is concerned. So this is our next step, to find out how to put into practice the equality that was one of the founding principles of the country.
Okay, tell me what. In order for us to avoid fascism, we need to keep corporate money and corporate influence out of the government. Otherwise, I think we are doomed. Thank you.
Hi. Well, I just signed up for Bernie Sanders' bill as a co-sponsor, a citizen co-sponsor, and I think we all should. to get in touch with that and find out about it, it's sanders.senate.gov. G-O-V, sanders.senate.gov. And look it up.